Hey, Faith family, are you having a good day today? Maybe it's not so good of a day. Maybe it's a bad day. You know what? That doesn't matter. You know why? Because God is still on the throne. So whether we have good days or bad days, He's still on the throne. He's in control. Just the other day I was reading in Exodus chapter 14, reading about the Israelites. They have just left Egypt and they're on their way walking to the promised land. And the really neat thing is this is a promise God has given them. They are walking to the land He's given them Himself. And they come across an obstacle, the Red Sea. And it's a big, huge deal. The people start mumbling and groaning and complaining and saying, oh, we should have gone back to Egypt. But there's another problem. The angry Egyptians are running after them. So here they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, a bad situation and a worse situation. They have nowhere to go. They're crying out. They're scared. They're trembling. They're really worried. And this is what Moses has to say to them. Moses says in chapter 14, verse 13, and Moses said to the people, fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of the Lord. A verse later, he says this, the Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. What a great reminder Moses is telling to the people that they need to be quiet. Stop their complaining. Stop their worrying. Allow God to just work. Just watch Him work. Be quiet. Be still. And let God do His thing. It's a good reminder for you and I as well. Because in Galatians chapter 2, starting here in verse 20, it says this. Paul says, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave Himself for me. Jesus, He loves you and He gave Himself for you. So if Jesus loves you and gave Himself for you, do you really think that those problems you're facing, maybe the broken relationships that you're trying to navigate, or the loss of a job, or the crises that are coming and hitting you right in the face, do you really think that God is less powerful than all those things? Do you really think that the God who loves you, who split the Red Sea open for the Israelites and led them into the promised land, that same God who sent Jesus to the cross to die for you, who loves you, who cares about you, do you really think that those things that you face on a daily basis that make your day a bad day, do you really think that they're more powerful than Him? They're not. Why don't you just be quiet? Why don't you just rest? Why don't you just watch Him have the victory?